Hello everyone. Welcome to the second lecture of the Prompt Engineering course for beginners. Today in this lecture we will be covering ingredients of a great prompt. So first of all, you should keep this rule in mind as a beginner. This is not a literal rule. So the thing that you need to keep in mind is that if human cannot understand your instruction, these AI tools definitely won. Actually, this is not 100% correct, but just to take the first step, because we are treating this course for only for the very beginner people who are just starting to learn about these things. So just keep this in mind. Like, you need to be clear. You need to enforce clarity in your prompts. What do you want? What specific criteria you need to mention in these kind of prompts? So in order to understand this, let's take the example of a GPS navigator. So if you tell a GPS, let's say there is a GPS which kind of pick the location based on if you describe something. So if you tell it to take me somewhere nice, or if there is a taxi driver and you tell him like take me somewhere nice. So of course he or their GPS system will take you to some place nice, but what that specific place is, it can be any random place. Maybe it will be a nice place, but not what you were expecting. But if you tell it very clearly, take me to the nearest park with walking track, because your mood was that you wanted or you were craving for a walk. So you need specifically mention your need. So when we mention our specific need, like we have a very short time, although we didn't mention this, that I have a short time, but still when we ask it, take me to the nearest park, so it will search for the nearest park and then the walking track. So it will find the exact route. So now in this example, you can see when our instruction was vague, so even in our normal day life, we can end up in getting random results. But if our instruction is very clear, so this is the rule that I want you to learn from this lecture. Like the clarity is very important. Now, what should be a formula for prompt checklist? Initially, you might struggle a bit is when you are writing prompts. You might take a screenshot of this formula and then apply when you are writing prompt. Just check whether I have fulfilled some of these criterias. But later on, when you start practicing, you it will be like uh, you will get used to it. You don't need to remember it or take a check every time. So a high quality prompt usually has these five ingredients. First one is goal. What exactly do you want? This should be the most important thing. You should be very clear about your goal. That will be the task. Second thing is context. What is the background, the story? Okay, one thing I need to emphasize is don't get overwhelmed by these kind of keywords that I'm mentioning right now in this checklist, because in this course we will be covering each of these in sufficient detail. So don't worry about these things. Just I'm giving you the bigger picture. So a context is what is the background, the story. You need to tell the story. You are talking about the task. You are talking about the goal, objective that you want to achieve. But there will be a context surrounding that objective. AI doesn't know you. AI chatbot, maybe even if it knows, maybe you are talking about some random task. So you need to tell it the story, the context of the task, how we will see later. Third one is constraints. What are the rules? Sometimes you will be requiring an answer based on your available resources or the available deadline or the available time. Different kind of constraints can be there. So if there are constraints, the limits, you need to mention it in the prompt. So in order to get the exact result. Fourth one is the format. How should the answer look? So sometimes you might need the answer to be in some particular pattern so that you can copy it easily rather than editing it later times. So the format is also important. Uh, as I said earlier, don't worry about these. We will be covering this all of these points in the later lecture in uh, enough depth. So and the fifth one is the tone. How should it sound? The style. Uh, it's a little bit interesting thing. The tones, we can change the tones. It can be funny, it can be serious, it can be academic, it can be neutral, or like this kind of a lot of tones are available. So how we want this that particular answer to sound while fulfilling the other criteria. So uh, the thing is that you don't always need all five. It isn't necessary like for every task you are going to write your prompt according to this checklist, but you should be aware about when to use which one. It is like having a lot of weapons with you when you are going to fight, but you don't utilize all the weapons at the same time. You use each weapon for that particular purpose whenever it is needed. So when you have these kind of concepts clearly, so whenever you are communicating based on such kind of knowledge, the prompts that you will write will be very clear and very to the point. Now, let's see bad and good prompt just to end this lecture. So let's say we are writing a prompt for the AI chatbot like ChatGPT or Gemini or DeepSeek or whatever it is. Write an email about a project delay. So you want it to write an email. But the thing is, this is a very bad prompt. Uh, how we will see what we will, but how it will be different on what prompt. So for your simplicity, I have colored the specific sentences. So let's say uh, for the similar prompt for the similar task, if I am writing a good prompt, it will be like, let's say I am a project manager. So I will tell it who I am. I am a project manager. And what is it? It is called persona. What is persona? Don't worry about it. We will cover it. So, but this is linked with the context, as we talked in the previous slide. We need to tell it the story. So, persona is also one part of the story. So, a key part of context, we tell it, I'm a project manager. Second thing is writing to a client because our software update is 2 days late due to server issue. Now, look at this orange line. This is also context. And this is the story and background that we need to tell it why I am writing this email. So I'm telling it is my role, the persona, who I am, why I am writing this email, and then the goal, the task. Write a polite apology email that proposes a new deadline. So we are also asking it polite. So this is kind of tone. We are mentioning the tone. Apology email that proposes a new deadline. Keep it under 150 words. These are the constraints. Email can be a lot longer. It can be very short. So we mentioned the constraint and use a professional tone. This is again, so this sometimes several of keywords comprises and make decides the output. So here we write polite apology. So it is also a tone. And then we use a professional tone for, so when we are using the apology for the email, it should not be a random apology like we humans interact with. It still should be in a professional tone based on my role, because I'm project manager. Some specific kind of criteria is required for me. So when we write these kind of prompts, let's see. I will show you the how much difference it creates when we use the bait prompt, just a simple way of communication, and then after applying these kind of concepts, and we learn to write good prompt, how the result is affected. Let's go and see. So this is the simple prompt, which I categorize as a build prompt. Let's run it and see how its output is. So it definitely will give us output. This thing you should keep in mind. Whatever we write, it will have the any output. Okay, dear recipient's name, I hope you are doing well. I want to provide you with an update regarding the progress of the project name due to unforeseen circumstances. Okay, so you can see the primary factors contributing to this delay include, so it has placeholders as well because it is guessing. Still, it is much better, but it is guessing. Still, it is guessing. Our team is actively working to address these issues and minimize any further impact. We are revising the project schedule and currently expect the new completion date to be the new estimated date. So you can edit it in, here as well. We understand the importance of this project and sincerely. Okay, so I will not be explaining all of it. You can see it is a very generic email, very generic email. So now let's try when we give it the specific prompt. So this is the good prompt that we discussed. I'm a project manager and like this. So let's run it and see how is the output. Okay, so just see, it has clearly tell what is the subject is because we have mentioned the story because our software update is 2 days late due to a server issue. So we have mentioned the story as well, and we have already, so subject, update on software release timeline, dear client name, and look how it is within 150 characters. So if you like paste it in some character counter, it will output like within 150 characters. So dear this, I hope you are doing well. I am writing to inform you that our latest software update has been delayed by 2 days due to an unexpected. So now you can see it is mentioning that story as well, why that particular error occurred. And our team has resolved the root cause and is working diligently to ensure stability. And here is the apologetic. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciate your understanding. So you can pause this video and see, or you can do it on your own PC. So this is just as an example. This is not a particular task. I'm just giving you a look of the broader picture, like how changing the prompt according to the best practices yields the good best output. So I hope this lecture was helpful for you. And in the next lecture, we will be covering more concepts. So, yeah, you can give us any suggestions or feedback about these kind of lectures in the comment section. Thank you.